Hey there, gamers of all ages. Buckle up because we're about to dive deep into a world of tricky puzzles, strange characters, and maybe even a little soul-searching with a game called Indica. Indica, with a capital I-N by the way, isn't your typical jump-and-shoot adventure. Launching on May 8th, 2024 for PlayStation 5, Xbox Series X/S, and PC, this is a story-driven game that will make you think as much as it makes you play. Now, you might be thinking in a video game? Sounds boring. But hold on to your controllers, because Indica throws in some twists and turns that might surprise you. Here's the gist. You play as a nun. Yes, a nun. Named, well, we don't actually know her name yet. Let's just call her Sister Awesome for now. Sister Awesome lives in a peaceful monastery, but things get a little hectic when she's forced to leave the safety of its walls. That's when the real adventure begins. But she's not alone on this wild ride. Buckle up, because she's got a rather unusual travel companion. The devil himself. That's right, you heard that correctly. The horned fellow with the pitchfork is tagging along. Now, we don't know exactly why yet, but the developers promise this unholy partnership will be a big part of the story. Will they become best buds? Will the devil tempt Sister Awesome to the dark side? Only time, and maybe a few clever puzzles will tell. Here's the thing about Indica. It's not afraid to ask big questions. The game explores themes of faith, authority, and even what it means to be good or bad. Now, we're not talking about super complicated stuff here, but Indica might make you think a little bit about the choices you make, even in the real world. But don't worry, it's not all deep thoughts and existential dread. The developers at Oddmeter, the folks who made Indica, promise a good dose of humor along the way. They describe the game as having a dark sense of humor, which sounds intriguing, right? Imagine Sister Awesome cracking wise while the devil does his best to cause trouble. It could be a laugh riot, or maybe a holy meltdown. So far, Indica sounds pretty interesting, wouldn't you say? But before you rush out and pre-order it with your allowance, with your parents' permission, of course, there are a few things to consider. We met Sister Awesome, our unconventional protagonist, and her fiery travel companion. Now, let's shift gears and talk about the gameplay itself. Indica is what we call a puzzle adventure game. That means you'll be exploring some pretty amazing environments, solving mind-bending puzzles, and uncovering the secrets of the story along the way. Here's the cool part. The puzzles won't just test your logic skills, they'll also tie into the narrative. Imagine this. You're trying to open a giant stone door in a spooky ancient temple. The solution to the puzzle might not just be pushing some buttons or lining things up. It could involve using objects you find throughout the game, or even having a conversation with your, hot-headed companion, the devil himself, remember? The developers are keeping most of the specific puzzles under wraps, but they've hinted that there'll be a mix of classic challenges and some brand new brain teasers. So, whether you're a puzzle pro or a complete newbie, Indica promises to keep you on your toes. Now, let's talk about the world of Indica. The trailers and screenshots we've seen so far show some truly stunning environments. We're talking lush jungles, grand ancient cities, and even some trippy otherworldly locations. Oddmeter is promising a visually unique experience, and from what we've seen so far, they're definitely delivering. But here's the thing. Pretty graphics don't always make a great game. What really matters is how the world feels to explore. Will you feel like you're truly part of Sister Awesome's journey? Will every corner hold a new secret to uncover? These are the questions we'll have to answer when the game finally launches on May 8th. Of course, no game is perfect, and Indica is no exception. One thing that has some gamers worried is the combat system. While the focus is definitely on puzzles and exploration, there are hints that you might have to fight some enemies along the way. The concern? We don't really know how the combat will work yet. Will it be simple button mashing, or will it require some skill and strategy? Some folks are worried that a clunky combat system could take away from the enjoyment of the puzzles and story. Another potential downside is the difficulty. Oddmeter says they're aiming for a challenge that's rewarding, not frustrating. But with some of the complex puzzles they've shown, there's a chance that Indica might be a bit too tough for younger gamers, or those who prefer a more relaxed experience. Here's the good news. Most of these are just concerns, not confirmed problems. We'll know for sure how Indica plays when it hits store shelves or downloads onto your PC in May. So, to recap, Indica looks like a fascinating adventure game with a unique story, stunning visuals, and mind-bending puzzles. But there are a few things to consider: the potential for clunky combat and a difficulty curve that might be too steep for some players. Still, if you're looking for a game that will challenge you and make you think, Indica is definitely worth keeping an eye on. Alright, puzzle masters and story seekers, we've reached the final leg of our Indica deep dive. It's time to weigh the pros and cons, analyze the hype, and deliver the ultimate verdict. Should you pre-order Indica or wait for the reviews? The verdict: a puzzling paradise with a few minor demons. Let's be honest, Indica isn't your average video game. It's a narrative-driven puzzle adventure that throws a nun, the devil, and some existential questions into a blender and hits puree. It's quirky, it's ambitious, and it has the potential to be truly special. The angelic aspects. First, let's celebrate the heavenly aspects of Indica. The world design looks breathtaking, with a variety of environments that promise to take you on a visual journey. From lush jungles to ancient ruins, the developers seem to be crafting a world that's both beautiful and mysterious. The puzzles themselves are the real stars of the show. They seem intricately tied to the story, meaning you won't just be pushing buttons, you'll be using your brain and the items you find along the way to unlock the secrets of Indica's world. Plus, the whole unholy partnership between Sister Awesome and the Devil adds a layer of intrigue that could lead to some hilarious and thought-provoking moments. The impish imperfections. Now, let's not sugarcoat it. There are a few potential demons lurking in the shadows. The combat system is a big question mark. Without knowing how it works, it's hard to say if it will be a satisfying challenge or a frustrating slog. Another concern is the difficulty. While some gamers crave a brain teaser, Indica might leave younger players or those seeking a casual experience feeling lost in the wilderness. The final amen. So, should you pre-order Indica or wait for the reviews? Here's the deal. If you're looking for a unique and thought-provoking adventure with stunning visuals and mind-bending puzzles, Indica has the potential to be a divine experience. But if clunky combat or a super steep difficulty curve scare you easier than a ghost story, then maybe waiting for the reviews is the wiser choice. Ultimately, the decision is yours. But hey, no matter what you choose, at least you can say you learned a little something about a game that's daring to be different. Indica launches on May 8th, 2024 for PlayStation 5, Xbox Series X/S, and PC. So, will you be joining Sister Awesome on her wild ride? Only time, and maybe a pre-order button will tell.